This might seem like a hot take alert. I don't think so. I'd feel if for the Eagles fans watching, Eagles fans should feel better about this team today than the Eagles team on December 26th, 2017. Is that a ridiculous statement?
I think you're out of your mind.
You think I'm out of my mind?
Yeah.
You thought on...
Now, listen, it's hard
You're
to...
the one who had that show saying the season's over when Carson Wentz went down.
Correct. But obviously, you cannot divorce what we know happened since. However, as you said, they clinched the number 1 seed. Mm-hmm. Okay? They set things up so that they had a better path. We can talk about, like, it is actually, it's kind of wild how plausible it seems now that the Eagles could be the number 1 seed after the San Francisco loss. But, like, there were so many more layers to that team. And I feel like why you would feel good about this team is too much related to last year. And I think we have to stop thinking about last year with this team. This team is not last year's team. Yes, they've got Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert and a great offensive line. And their path to making hay in the playoffs is having this elite offense. And yesterday against the Giants, by the efficiency numbers, by the per possession numbers, they were elite. They were great. They were playing against a terrible defense, but in terms of playing at the level they need to play at in the playoffs, scoring-wise, they did that yesterday. Mm-hmm. That's great. I don't have any faith that the team as a whole is ready to win 3 games in a row against good competition. Now, listen, as I said to Fletcher, you can turn it on. It doesn't matter what happens over the course of the season. It matters what happens in January. But I do not feel better about the team right now than I did about them after that Raiders game. And I know that after that Raiders game, I was one of the people thinking, like, what's going on here? They're probably going to lose. But I still feel worse about this team.
So, and look, this team has not done enough to engender confidence. But, did I use engender correctly?
Yeah, that's
okay,
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
You smiled when I said that. Okay.
No, I'm just... I'm just thinking that, like, I don't want to be like Donovan Downer. Okay, like, I know that
when
everybody
did Downer get demoted and Donovan Downer stepped in?
This is an Eagles thing.
Okay.
I've always used Donovan Downer with the Eagles. Everybody watching the show is an Eagles fan. They want to believe that this team is going to win the Super Bowl. I don't want to be the one to pour cold water on it. You can be Opie optimist. I'm telling you what I feel. I do not believe that there is reason to think that this team is going to go win the Super Bowl, and the stakes are higher.
So that's what's fascinating to me about this postseason. And we can get into the different machinations of who they could play and what those seedings could be. But, like, it's obvious to say everything's on the table. I can see this team laying an egg against the Rams in the first round of the playoffs. Or I can see this team, like, third down and red zone variants, as you've written, adjusts. The passer, the defensive line, like Fletcher says, all of a sudden starts winning games. Like, everything comes together and they start dominating up front. And, like, these things, but I'm saying if like these things happen, and it's not like sitting there being a Bucs fan saying, well, if all this could happen, these are all very plausible things. Like, the Eagles can be better on third down. They
What's plausible about the defensive line being dominant?
Oh, the personnel that
they've had 15 games.
I hear you. I'm not disputing that.
It's like saying it's plausible that Julio Jones can recapture his prime glory. Like,
Hassan Reddick.
Just because it happened doesn't mean there's recent evidence for it.
Like, I don't think Josh Sweat is. I think he's a more productive player than what you've seen over the past 6 weeks. They have talent up front. Like, the 49ers, if that Trent Williams injury turns into something more serious or cost him to miss time, right, that could factor into things here. There's just, I made the point last week when I wrote it and when I said it, and I stand by it, that, and this isn't even like an optimistic viewpoint. This is just the reality of the NFL. 3 weeks ago from last week, so 4 weeks ago now, coming off that Chiefs win, it's like this team, Jalen Hurts is the MVP. They just beat the defending Super Bowl champs. They're at that point 10-1. It's like, man, they have what it takes, right? Then 3 weeks later, it's like the sky is falling all around us. 3 weeks in the NFL is an eternity, okay? I'm not suggesting that 2 wins over the Giants and a win over the Cardinals, if that's how it comes to fruition.
I mean, this is 3 games against like 2 of the literal worst teams in the NFL.
What I'm saying is that like things around you change, right? That's true. We'll see what happens with the 49ers over these next few weeks. We can get to this conversation. It is crazy to think that as poorly as the Eagles have played, and I'm a point differential guy, and their point differential is not good right now, especially compared to the top teams in the league. For all of that, it's entirely plausible that the Eagles beat the Cardinals, beat the Giants, okay? And that
by like a combined 6 points.
Okay, fine. But that the Cowboys beat the Lions, right? That's a plausible thing. And it's plausible that the Rams beat the 49ers. And if those events happen, the Eagles are somehow the 1 seed. They have a first-round bye.
Yeah, if you tell me they're going to be the 1 seed, then all of a sudden I can believe it. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like that Raiders game, they got the 1 seed. Like that was a significant part of the calculus.
I still think they're the 2 seed.
I think, probably. I don't know. I guess
we'll see what happens with that.
We'll see what happens with Detroit.
Yeah.
I think so much of the faith is based on things we have seen before, but they were last year. And now listen, they beat the Chiefs and they beat the Bills. I know, but like
they beat the Cowboys, right? Like this is not the NBA Finals. This is not Major League Baseball. It's who's better on that Sunday. And the Eagles, in my opinion, can be better than any of these NFC teams on that Sunday.